it's Emmy. Welcome to my first official YouTube video on this channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my Taylor Swift vinyl collection as I am a super fan of hers. And go ahead and click that subscribe button below if you're interested in watching future videos of mine. Like the video and also turn on notifications if you're interested in hearing about when I'm posting next. So I'm going to be starting obviously with Debut and then slowly moving into her later albums. But I have a copy, or just like a standard copy, of every single album from the moment that her career started. So I'm really excited to show you these because these vinyls have a really special place in my heart, and I am not stopping until I have every single variation. So let's get started. Okay, so first we're going to be starting with Debut. This one was actually the hardest vinyl to find, even though I have a bunch of shops around me. I finally did find it in the 2 weeks looking for all of her vinyls. And this just has the standard cover right here. You turn it around and it has the full list of all the songs on this side. And they're divided according to sides. So side A has Tim McGraw, Picture to Burn, Teardrops on My Guitar, and A Place in This World. Then you move to side B and it has Cold as You, The Outside, Tied Together with a Smile. Side C has Stay Beautiful, Should Have Said No, Mary Song, and Our Song. And then side D has I'm Only Me When I'm With You, Invisible, A Perfectly Good Heart, and Teardrops on My Guitar. And then we open it, and then on the inside it has 2 pictures of Taylor from the Debut era and all of the different lyrics from all the different songs. And I absolutely adore this aesthetic because I think it's just perfect for her debut country album. As far as the pressings go, all the stolen versions are just the standard black pressings. There are really nothing special in terms of, I guess, vinyl colors. So on these vinyls, they just have the different sides listed with the different songs on each one. And then I'll just give you a quick glimpse of the vinyl itself because I don't want to pull it out of here being how fragile these things can be. And then I'm just going to put it back in here and then secure it with the rest of my vinyls in my collection. But yeah, the good thing about vinyls is that they last forever as long as you take care of them. Make sure to get the right kind of sleeves for these, because if you leave them in the paper sleeves, it can actually scratch the disc and basically just skip that part in the song that is scratched, and you definitely don't want that for the amount of money that you're spending on these. So that's just a helpful tip to basically keep these in the best condition that you can have them. Okay, so after Debut, we obviously have the Fearless era. I have the OG Fearless on the Platinum Edition. And then, again, this is just the standard black pressing, so the front looks like this. If you flip it around, it has a photo of Taylor from the Fearless tour, which I think is just so adorable, and also the list of songs right here. So then you flip it open, and it's, again, just the standard black pressing, because this is how all the stolen versions come. And I love this vinyl because in the middle it has a picture of the heart hands from the Fearless tour. And honestly, that's my favorite memento from the Fearless era in general, is just the simple heart hand gesture that she made to the fans because she loves us so much. And then you flip it open to the middle, and it has a thank you note from Taylor on this side to basically all the people that collaborated on this album. And then you flip it over to the top, and she basically just talks about what inspired her to make this album, how long it took her, and honestly in general, how she's so proud of it. And again, it has that photo of Taylor in the rain from the Fearless tour and her little signature at the bottom. And I'm so happy with how she put this album together, just because I feel like all the songs blend together really well, and when you're listening to it on vinyl, one just leads to the next and it just tells a continuous story. And that's just my favorite thing about listening to Fearless, is that it's so nostalgic, just because it is her sophomore album and the album that really pushed her to being famous. And I forgot to mention, I do have Fearless Taylor's version. It's just not in my room. It's out on the wall in my living room, so I'm not going to be taking that down to show you. It's just the standard Target edition, so it's just the red vinyl. There's really nothing special about it. I wish I had the gold one that has all the Fearless pictures on it. That one is just so more aesthetically pleasing than the bright Target red. Okay, so next we have Speak Now. I have the OG version and I also have Taylor's version. So Speak Now was literally the album that raised me when I was a young Taylor Swift fan. I think I was 8 years old when it first dropped. And there were so many songs that I used to just scream in the car with my mom on the way home from school. And we actually got tickets to go see her in my hometown that summer when she was touring after the album drop, and it was literally the best experience of my life. I wish I could just like hit a rewind button and go back to that night because I remember it so vividly, and I was only 8 years old at the time. So with this standard edition, you basically open it, and it has a bunch of pictures from the Speak Now era. My favorite being this enchanted photo up here. I think it's just so, just like reminiscent of the OG Speak Now era, and it's adorable. It makes me think of the Wonderstruck commercial each time I look at it. And obviously this is Taylor Swift's self-written album, so it has everything on here as far as the lyrics go, and it just says Taylor Swift next to every single one. You flip it over, and she's in this gorgeous yellow dress with all of the different song titles on the back. And it's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, even though it's the stolen version. We still learn to appreciate this one because it was the OG one that basically made me a huge Taylor Swift fan when I was younger. Except I didn't rediscover that until about a year and a half ago when I finally delved deeply into her music and learned to appreciate it more than for just the sound of it, I guess. Because I only listened to the popular hits before. I have connected so deeply with some of her songs. They just resonate so much with me, and now I have this just personal connection to her music, and I don't know what it is, but I just I can't, when you just gravitate towards some artists and you only relate to a few of their songs, it's literally every single song in her discography I have found something to relate it to, and now I just can't basically get myself off of it. I will always relate to her music and all of her eras that she's basically put out for us. And now I have Speak Now, Taylor's version, which dropped last summer. And honestly, this is my favorite cover art for all of the re-releases. I feel like she captured the OG cover perfectly in the way that she recreated this. It's just so perfect. Someone did point out to me, though, that there is one section of her hair in this photo that is not curled, and it will forever haunt me, because every single time I look at this cover, that's all I see. But otherwise than that, it's perfect. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10, I would die for this photo each time. So you basically flip it open, and it has a photo of Taylor with the prologue on the side of her underneath a tree, and I think it's just so beautiful. And then these vinyls actually come in sleeves with the lyrics on them, so they're not actually there when you open it like it is with the OG version. And then this one is the dark, I think it's the dark purple, the dark orchid edition. So like I said, it has all the lyrics on it right here. You flip it over, and it has photos of Taylor on the front as well, which are so freaking pretty. And I'm not going to bring these out because Speak Now is my favorite, or one of my favorite albums, and I do not want to ruin this. So that's the color right there. It's literally such a deep shade of purple and so pretty. It's the same on the other side. It's just a different photo of Taylor. I actually have some of the cover art on my wall. I have 2 editions of Speak Now, Taylor's version, so I just kind of decided to use these cover art sleeves as decorations in my room because I thought they were literally so aesthetically pleasing and cute. So again, here's that picture on the inside in its full effect. It's up on my wall as well. And then another picture of Taylor from Speak Now, Taylor's version. And these vinyls are the exact same colors as the other one that I just showed you. But yeah, it has the lyrics on this side to all the rest of the songs, including the vault songs. And I'm, like I said, obsessed with everything about this album. I think it's just perfect in its entirety, and it is so underappreciated. I wish people would just appreciate this album a little bit more, just because it's full of such relatable songs for people, I guess, my age. And even Taylor has spoke about that in the prologue to her version of this album. She basically said that each song on the album goes through a different stage that she was in her life at the time, and how it just tells a cohesive story from start to end, and it's just, it's full of such just good memories and bad ones, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so next in the lineup of albums we have Red. I have the OG Red on vinyl, and I also have Red Taylor's version. Again, that's on my wall, so I'm not going to pull it down and show you because it was impossible to get up in the first place. So this is what the OG red cover looked like. If you flip it over, it has the list of the songs with a picture of her from the OG red era. And then you open it in the middle. Again, we have all of the lyrics on both sides to all the songs included on this edition. And then a little note from Taylor right up here. And again, with these, they're just the standard black pressings, so it's basically going to be the same thing as I showed you on Debut and Fearless. Obviously, different songs and stuff like that. I'm not going to bring these vinyls out. Like I said, I'm just so protective of these, even though they are the stolen versions. Like, I want them to last as long as they can, because that's the whole point of buying these in the first place, is just to appreciate them and have them for memories. So yeah, that's Red. I wasn't a huge fan during the Red era. I actually grew out of her music after the Speak Now era, and I slowly drifted back into it during 1989, because that was when she really tapped into like pop music in general and basically defined herself as a pop artist. And I feel like Red did deserve a Grammy, because this album is just like the ultimate fall album. It's full of heartbreak, it's full of joy, it's full of just like realization, like what it's just like to be someone at age 21, 22. It's just full of so many relatable experiences, and I can't express to Taylor enough like how much I do love this album, because I will scream All Too Well 10 Minute in the car literally every single day if I have the chance to put it on and I'm going somewhere where I have like a long drive to get to. And it's just, I just feel like the Red era is so underappreciated, kind of like Speak Now, that a lot of people just don't really like connect with the songs on these albums. But when you go through something similar to what she describes in her songs, like, you will get hooked to it, because that experience basically just connects you to her on a personal level. And recently I had a breakup last fall that really put me through the ringer, and this album is like the only thing that actually got me through it. All Too Well, like Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, The Moment I Knew, I Almost Do. Like, there's so many songs I could list off of this album that I connected to as I was like going through that grieving process and just trying to get over that relationship and how it played out. And it's just, I learned to appreciate Red in so many more ways than I did before going through that experience. So if you have some time to basically set apart for Red and go through it from beginning to end, I highly recommend it, because you will go through a whole emotional process with that album. Like, it's pure poetry in Taylor Swift's terms, and I cannot wait to listen to Taylor Swift's new album. Okay, so next we have 1989. I have the OG version. I also have Taylor's version in this cover and the aquamarine green cover. I'm still working on getting all the variants for this album. There's so many. They're not hard to find. I just don't have the money to spend on it right now because vinyls are so expensive. But eventually I will have all of them. So this is the OG cover of 1989. It's just so nostalgic. I had to get it. And the back as well with her face on it and the songs over here. And then you flip it open. Again, standard black pressing. But I love this one because it has the old Polaroids of her in New York and all the different song lyrics attached to them as well, with the note at the top. And it's just so freaking cute. It literally looks like a Pinterest board, just on vinyl. And these are what the vinyls look like with all the seagulls on them. And it's literally just so nostalgic. So 2014 as well. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, this one's just the standard black pressing. And then we're going to get to 1989 Taylor's version. Okay, so this was the first edition of 1989 Taylor's version that I bought. I went straight to Target, I think the day after it dropped, and got this because I wanted it so badly, and I just loved the color of the vinyl. I actually have the vinyl in my kitchen right now as like a decoration, so I'm not going to go and get it. I'll insert a picture of it here for you guys, but basically it's just the tangerine color. And it's so freaking pretty to put on the vinyl because it's just the lightest shade of orange, but it's just so freaking pretty to watch it spin as the songs go through. But yeah, this is the standard cover right here. It's completely, this was like my favorite photo shoot of any re-recording besides Speak Now. Speak Now, I'm sorry, beats it in every aspect. But that's just me. I didn't even realize how bent this was in the corner. But, I mean, we mess with this all the time because it's always on display in our kitchens. So, on the back are all of the different song titles as well as the new pictures. And this one actually has Sweeter Than Fiction, Taylor's version. I haven't listened to that yet, and I bought this album back in October. So if I get the chance to today, I'm definitely going to put that on vinyl and just hear the differences between the original and the re-recorded version. But yeah, you flip it open, and it's kind of like the OG 1989 on vinyl. It has a bunch of different pictures, like on a Polaroid film. I honestly just think they're so cute. There's one of her playing Frisbee in the middle, and it's just so adorable. This one on the side is from Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version that was released about 2-3 years ago. So we kind of have seen half of these photos before, but the other half were completely new, so I appreciate that as well. And then we have the Aquamarine Green Edition. This was the first of the 1989 variants that I bought just because my favorite colors from those variants are green and the pink color. The pink one is probably the next one I'll be going for. I just absolutely adore how she mimicked the original Polaroids with these variant covers. Like, she literally just knocked it out of the park and did it perfectly. Again, you flip it over and it has a photo of her eating ice cream with all the song titles at the top right here. And then you flip it open and there's different Polaroid pictures on these film strips than there is from the one that is sold at Target. And then as far as the colors go, you pull it out and there's two sides with all the different song lyrics on it. And then this one is the prettiest shade of green that I have seen on vinyl. And I'm just going to flip it open a little bit. Maybe drag it out just a tiny bit. But yeah, this one is so freaking pretty. Like, I die over it every single time I bring it out of the sleeve. We're going to safely tuck that back in there. That is 1989 Taylor's version. Again, this re-recording also holds a huge place in my heart. 1989 probably isn't in my top 5, but it's certainly an album that I do underappreciate and I need to listen to more. And now we have my favorite Taylor Swift era of all time, Reputation. When I say I am so excited for this re-record, I can barely even hold my breath just thinking about it because this album means so much to me. I first connected with it last summer. Last summer I was just getting into Taylor Swift's music again. I really didn't know which album I resonated with, so I started listening to Reputation, and then I had it on repeat week after week after week, and I could not get off of the energy that this album gives me. And to this day, even though I don't listen to it on a daily basis anymore, like, I still have it in my playlist, so eventually it will pop up. I still appreciate it for the album it is. It's absolutely incredible from start to finish. Taylor knocked it out of the park with this comeback. As we all know, she rose from the grave and basically claimed back her reputation and just really defined herself as, like, the artist of the century with this album. When I saw this in the vinyl store, I just made a special connection with it. I was like, I need to have this album on vinyl. Like, this is my favorite vinyl of all time. I am so protective of this one. Like, I have it in the front of all of my vinyls, like, over on my dresser. And every time I look at it, I just smile because, like, literally just look at this photo shoot. It's literally just the most gorgeous thing I have ever seen in my life. And I just want to hug it every single time I'm around it. So I'm going to be very careful as I bring this one out, just because I don't want it getting ruined. So when you flip it open, it has 2 more pictures of her from the Reputation era. And like I said, I just loved her aesthetic during this era. It was just so bad bitch and just so, like, hey, I'm here to stay and no one can basically, like, tell me any different. And when you bring these discs out, it has the different covers to the vinyl on it. And as it spins, it's just flawless. You can't tell me this is not the most beautiful vinyl you have ever seen in your life. As well as the vinyl, like, sleeves too with the newspaper print. It just fits so well together, and like I said, she knocked it out of the park with this one as well, and I can't wait to see how she recreates it on Reputation, Taylor's version, which I'm hoping we get very soon, even though we are getting a new album in about 10 days that I am so excited for. I don't want to say I'm more excited for Reputation, Taylor's version, but this is just, it's my album, and it's the album that made me a Taylor Swift fan again, I guess, because I did drift away from her music for a while until I started listening to Reputation, and it finally tapped me back into her songwriting and basically just listening to her music every single day. So as far as Lover goes, I do have the standard edition of that album. It's up in my living room, so I'm not going to go grab that. But it's just the standard blue and pink vinyl that you can get at Target. They still sell it pretty regularly. And I'm not saying I don't appreciate that album because I love Lover. It's literally like the cutest album ever. But I'm going to move into Folklore and Evermore now just because I do actually have those not up on a wall. So I have the Fearless, like, standard cover that you can find on Spotify and stuff like that. And this one is just so aesthetically pleasing and cute. When you flip it around to the back, it has her facing the other way with all the songs on this side, and it's just so adorable. This one is a tan color, I believe, and the vinyl, like, sleeves themselves are actually made of a different kind of, like, paper. I just, like, can't figure out, like, what kind it is. But it feels more protective than the stolen version ones do. But yeah, it's just this tan, like light tan color. It kind of reminds me of Fearless Taylor's version. It's like the same tan variation that one had. And yeah, Folklore will always hold a special place in my heart as well, because when I first listened to Folklore, it was definitely in my bottom three. I didn't really learn to appreciate it, and again, until I went through a similar experience that it describes on the album. And then I actually listened to the songs on repeat for several weeks this winter and realized, like, just how much I needed to appreciate it more than I did in the past. And my sister kept telling me, she's like, you don't like Folklore now, but you will in the future. And I was like, sure I will. Because at that point I was just a straight Reputation girly. And then once December hit and winter was rolling around, this was the album that I had on repeat, as well as Evermore, because they just feel like such winter albums. And whenever I'm in the mood for, like, I guess, like, cuddling up or cozying up in the winter, these songs are just so relatable to that time. So that's why I decided to put it on, and I just, again, realized how much I have been missing out on listening to these, like, works of art before. Okay, so next we have Evermore. I don't have the sleeves in this one because it's on my vinyl player right now, and I don't want to take it out because I'm about to put it on after this video. But I will show you what the actual, like, vinyl cover looks like. So again, it's just the standard photo that she put out for this album with her walking through the cornfields and all of these songs on the side. It's so pretty. And then once you flip it open, it has a couple pictures of Taylor in black and white. And it's very similar to Folklore's aesthetic, being a sister album. But I love Evermore just as much as Folklore. Honestly, I can't rank one over the other because I feel like they both have such amazing songs, and they are just so relatable to each other when you're listening to them. And I hate to pin them against each other, but if I had to rank Folklore and Evermore, they'd probably be at the same number, because I don't listen to one over the other. I listen to both of them, like, together. And yeah, I can just never separate them because they're just amazing together. Okay, so moving on to Midnights, I have the standard cover. That one, again, is on display in my living room, and I'm not going to take it down. But I do have all the variants, so I think these are some of the best photos that Taylor has ever done for an album. They're just very, like, 80s style, and I appreciate her tapping into something that's different. This one is the Jade Green edition. This is my favorite of the Midnights variants. I think the color is just so beautiful, and not enough people appreciate it. Each of these vinyls comes with a lyric booklet. I think it's really nice because you can just put the vinyl on and then just follow along with the booklet that she provides for you. And eventually I do want to hang these up on my wall and form the clock that she showed us in one of her TikTok videos. I want to connect the different numbers and use it as, like, a room decor item, I guess. I just don't want to actually, like, ruin the vinyl itself by doing that. So then you flip it open, and it has a picture of Taylor basically, like, just looking down, and it's just so beautiful on the inside. And then I'll go ahead and show you guys the color of this album. This is what the sleeve looks like, the other side with Taylor looking up. And then I'm going to slowly drag it out because this one's my favorite of the nights and I don't want to ruin it. So this is the color of the vinyl right here. It's literally, it's such a beautiful marbled, like jade green color, and I am in love with it every single time I put it on my record player. So yeah, I appreciate this one a lot. It holds a special place in my heart. And then next we have the Blood Moon edition. This one is kind of like a darker shade of the Mahogany edition. But you turn it around to the back, and again, it has all those numbers that can connect the clock if you have all of the different editions of Midnights. And then it has a lyric booklet in the front, except I think it's missing on this one because I don't see it. And then the different photos on the different sides of the vinyl cover. And then this one's like a very light orange with like shades of brown in it, I believe. Yeah, it's a really, really pretty color. Next, we have the Mahogany edition. This was the first of the Midnights variants that I got just because it was the only one that the store had. Again, you flip it over, picture of Taylor with the numbers on the side that I will eventually connect. And then you open it, and there's another photo of her. And then the lyric booklet is on this side, and the actual vinyl is over here. Picture of her looking at the ceiling. This picture, I believe, was used to promote Maroon. I don't really remember. Because I didn't listen to Midnights when it first came out because I wasn't a huge Taylor fan at that point, believe it or not. But when I finally did get back, Midnights was the first album that I listened to from her discography that got me hooked. So this one is like, in the sunlight, it almost looks like it's a yellow color. I always just associate it with like a light yellow color, kind of like the gold that the Fearless vinyl is, but just like really, really, really light, and you can see through it, and it's just, yeah. It's really, really, really pretty, but it's not one of the first Midnights variants that I would put on, having the choice of the Blood Moon or the Jade Green edition. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I really had a lot of fun making it. As you can tell, Taylor Swift is a huge passion of mine, and I am a super fan to the core, and I will continue making content covering basically every single thing that happens regarding her. If you guys are interested in following along with me and my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button below, like the video, and also comment how excited you are for TTPD. I can't believe it's almost here. We only have 10 days left. Like, I'm getting so freaking excited about this album because I know it's going to rip me apart from the inside out, as Taylor does with every single album that she has put out. But I am just so enthusiastic about it. Me and my friend are actually going to a listening party on release day, and I'm just so looking forward to sharing that experience with some fellow Swifties. Go ahead and comment down below what you think your top 3 from the Tortured Poets department is going to be, and then once it actually comes, I'll go ahead and post my reaction video and what my initial basically just thoughts on the album are, because that's something that's going to be relatable with a lot of us. So thank you so much again for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys.